मुठीत घाळी हारित रव धुळी ह्यादरित नन जीवा ह्यांता चंदरामा चिंत्याग बेळगागे. When we did this for the first time, November 2023, we had gathered 12 leaders, and they were the cohort, and then we had the opportunity to journey with them for about 14 months. And what we learned from that journey was that there is such a need for such spaces, very intentionally designed spaces for systems orchestrators.
It's very liberating to be disconnected.
This is a permanent space. This is not a program. This is not an event. This is not a workshop. This is a container. This is a place where leaders can be themselves, can explore their self, can explore the shifts they want to make, can explore the shape that they are trying to give to our planet and the people on the planet.
We hope that the spaces that we have here, formal spaces like this, very informal spaces, intermediate spaces, spaces where you can pause and reflect and meet and whatever you want to do, I hope that it helps you in shaping this community.
It's not forced. I think that's what is different and what makes it a little bit easier. Like, it's a very open schedule, open space, people have come with open minds. So overall it doesn't feel like even though there's an agenda, it doesn't feel like there's an agenda that this is where we all have to land up at the end of 3 days together. It's very, hey, take what you like out of this and we'll kind of see where it goes, and each of you may land up in a different space, and that's completely okay.
I came here with a blank slate. If you got a blank slate, only then can you fill it up. If you don't have a blank slate and have cluttered with my experience, then I'll be just filling up the gaps that exist. That's not the right way to learn.
Each team has a form. There's a start point. Six.
Extra dimension got any type to complete. No.
So this was for me kind of pushing me to like be patient, still my mind, introspect. Multiple points I found myself, again I have to check in, what's happening? Again I have to check in, like we're just not used to it at all, because we're just used to so much of constant content and brainstorming and working and being so clear on, okay, what is the goal, what is the objective, what do we have to go after? So I think this for me was a very different experience.
As social leaders as a whole, I'm going to use that word, we are always in such a hurry. We have to follow this pace of changing things because everything is so urgent. Either it is inside our organizations or outside. And just being in a quiet space where we can just be so aware and mindful of what's going on within us when we are within this type of situations is what it is most, I think it's most important about these places. Of course, the networks and the connections and everything we can build together afterwards is very important, but just to be here and have the time to reflect on what's going on outside is important.
As leaders running and steering a big ship and having these ambitious goals, we don't often give ourselves the space and time to stop and think and reflect on some of these questions, right? I would not have ever stopped to self-reflect on who I am becoming as a person, who I want to be. I think these kind of spaces actually give you that opportunity, and as leaders we don't often give ourselves the space to do that. These kind of initiatives force you to go into that space. So I think, and especially when you're working on some very large unknowns, I feel that it is important to take a step back sometimes and see where you are, who you are, where you are headed.
As individuals, we have our own missions, we have our own purposes, But then when we gather as a group, how interconnected we are and how powerful that interconnectedness can be.
It takes a while for somebody like me to establish that foundation of trust and then get into meaningful conversation, and probably I'm a very different person after that. But the idea that getting a diverse grouping of people together, varying interests, varying geographies, varying lived experiences under the same hood, possibly with some common building blocks, or we call it like this, some common DNA, right? What is that few strands of DNA that gets us together? That for me is basically what the Leaders Lab network effectively meant.
I think you saw each other, you really mirrored each other, you saw the values that each of us were believe very deeply.
We realized that until we were talking, and I don't actually probably talk to anyone about the stuff we were talking about.
The layers that we are trying to peel, I mean, we spent 20 plus years trying to do this, right? So there's one part of the system that we are able to see, but what is important is to get a bird's eye view and then say, hey, there are so many other components that need to start coming together. For the current state where we are all living, what we need is to see how do we connect the dots.
We are able to share openly and talk about mistakes that we have made. It is that safe space. And we leaders do need that safe space where we are not held to account, where we are not judged basis the mistakes that we have made in the past, or for that matter even successes that we may have achieved. You know, it is a very neutral, very plain and neutral playing field, and I think that's the beautiful part of it.
It was Peter Drucker who said that there is a trade-off between doing things right and doing the right things. Right? Many times we are in this race to do things right. We run this race, right? And sometimes you don't even know if that's the right thing to do. Right? So sometimes that stepping back for us to see things collectively, so that we can at least attempt to act on this collectively is a very important kind of a reflection. Most environments pit you against my solution versus your solution. But when we come together and say that, hey, can we look at the problem side? And these are such spaces, reimagine together.
I don't usually necessarily enjoy conversations about leadership, but I did not expect to enjoy the process as much, to get so much out of the process beyond meeting interesting people that I felt I connect with. And also realized that I should probably be more open to these type of things. And I really, as a result, I really hope to also stay in touch with people and think bigger, right? Think beyond our individual sector, our individual ideas, and you know, and try to make sure that when we go back, we don't all just go back to our project, our challenge, but try to see those connections, right? Because I think one part of exponential change that we don't speak so much is that the exponential change will come by connecting different ideas that tackle different parts of the problem, right? We all work on one part of the problem, you know.
I have all my interactive
1
books
minute.
and all
Okay.
of my presentations that I would really like to show you.
I want that. Okay.
Wonderful dashboard.
Okay, wait.
Change everything. What did you see?
Walk me through it, touch to yourself. Don't buy anything.
There are other spaces, like I have friends, I have family, I have my wife, I have children, you know, I have love, I have community. But what I need as a leader at this point of time is somebody who can, who is not afraid, who has the courage to actually dream at the level that the planet is requesting us to dream, I believe. And from that space being able to work with us And probably what I started with was stupid, but I'm sure when this group talks about it and figures it out, we're able to come to something that is truly powerful. And I want to kind of give that to every leader here also, which is that the fact that you've reached where you are, if you have something truly audacious, no matter how stupid it sounds to me, I'm going to believe that there is something in it and work with you till we find that nugget.
The biggest energy I'm taking with me is just a community of people out there who, many of them, think about the things I think about. They believe in the things I believe in, just in terms of alignment of values. And yeah, they care about the things I care about. And that's the sense I leave these 3 days with.
The kind of work structures and systems we've built in the world, there's firstly very little recognition of the fact that it's a lot of emotional labor, apart from the technical and other expertise that all of these leaders bring in, that there is a whole lot of emotional labor which goes absolutely unacknowledged for the most part, and spaces like these allow for expression and acknowledgement of that, and also a sense of witnessing themselves, witnessing each other, and in the process to notice that they're not alone.
Esse espaço ele é importante para a gente cuidar da nossa ansiedade. Nós estamos num momento onde o mundo vive doenças emocionais, mentais, mas quem está liderando uma organização que debate problemas sistêmicos, ele é um sujeito muito vulnerável a ser afetado pela ansiedade. A ansiedade para o projeto dar certo, a ansiedade para ver as pessoas mais felizes e menos tristes, a ansiedade de ver algum tipo de mudança sistêmica dentro de um governo, a ansiedade para saber se o projeto vai continuar existindo no próximo ano e a ansiedade se esse líder está conseguindo cuidar da sua própria saúde. São muitas ansiedades que nos afetam em muitos lugares. E um espaço como esse é o momento de colocar a ansiedade de lado. Ele nos dá esse presente. E por entregar esse presente na nossa mão e não forçar a acessar ele fala, olha, está aqui. Você pode acessar, você pode usufruir disto. Eu acho que esse é um grande porquê, né, um grande argumento sobre a importância desse ambiente, desse espaço, deste momento de autocuidado.
Leaders Lab is a community of like-minded seekers who are transforming themselves and transforming the world.
बीटित घाळी हारी तरव धुळी बीटित ह्यादरित नन जीवा ह्यांता चंदरामा चिंत्याग बेळगागे